You might be a great contractor. You might be the best of the best on the roof. You might be the fastest shingler. You might be great at sales. Unfortunately, all of that is not enough to be good in business. Being good in business means that you have to understand all aspects of the business, and mainly your financial statements and financial documents that come to you as a business owner. I talk to contractors on a daily basis. I travel a lot, and every year I see failing contractors who are closing their doors. And the reasons why they're closed their doors are not because they're bad at customer service or at their jobs. They're actually real good when people love them. You know, they have a lot of reviews, their employees love them, but they suck in business. So in this video, I want to discuss number one reason why roofing contractors fail. And that reason is lack of financial education. I'm going to give you 7 numbers that you must know in your business. And even if I wake you up in the middle of the night, you should give me somewhat accurate answer to those questions. You don't have to go to business school, you don't have to go to college, but you must learn finances and how to understand your numbers if you want to be successful in business. Let's talk about top 7 numbers that, in my opinion, every roofing business owner have to know. But before we proceed, I wanted to personally thank you for all the love you've been giving this channel recently. We are getting about 20-25 subscribers a day. Our Facebook page is growing as well. You guys are amazing. You're engaging with us, you're commenting, and that's our fuel for our fire, because it's not easy to come when you're busy in your day and you're running your businesses to turn on the camera, have lights, and just keep going without feedback we're getting from you. So keep doing that. Give me one of those if you like this video. Please keep engaging with us. We really appreciate all support we're getting, and we're gonna keep producing videos for you. So here are top 7 numbers that you have to know in your business. Number 1, obviously, is a closing rate. Every business owner have to know at all times what's your closing rate per salesperson and across the board. If you have 4, 5, 6, any number of sales guys, is it 20%? Is it 30%? Is it 40%? How is it possible that you don't know your closing rate in your business? Yet every year I meet so many business owners who have no clue, and I have talked with them usually about marketing and how much we should budget for marketing and how many leads we should be buying. Well, if you don't know your closing rate, marketing budget is irrelevant, because if you're spending, let's say, $200 per appointment and you're only closing 1 of them out of 10 because your closing rate is 10%, now that one appointment costs you, at $200 per appointment is $2,000. So you're paying way too much. You can't really budget like that. So you have to budget everything according to your average closing rate. Second number to track is customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost you to land one job? I'm not talking about impressions, I'm not talking about calls, I'm not talking about how many people come to you and requesting estimate from you. I'm talking about how many people you actually meet and how much do you pay per meeting. So for example, if you spend $100,000 per year on marketing, on branding, on apparel, between all your platforms, maybe you use companies like HomeAdvisor or Google Pay-Per-Click or Facebook ads. Now you spend $100,000 and you've done 100 jobs and your closing rate, let's say 50%. So based on those numbers, we can calculate your acquisition cost. How much does it cost you to acquire one customer? Next number to track is your average job. What's the dollar amount for your average job? If you do repairs, if you do big jobs, if you do small jobs, if you do different trades. For example, as a roofing contractor, you might be doing gutters. Well, average gutter job going to be probably $1,500. Now, if you do insurance claims and it includes roofing, siding, and gutters, now those claims might be $40,000, $50,000. Well, you have to know the average. So for me, my average is about $10,000. We call it average ticket. So you have to know that number, because later you're going to be tracking it against your closing rate. You're going to be tracking against other metrics and other customer acquisition numbers. It all goes together. And if you ever get to sell your business, you have to know those numbers, especially average ticket, customer acquisition, closing rate. Those are crucial. The first thing investor will ask you is those numbers. Number to track, number 4, is your profit margin. And when we talk about profit margins, I want you to track both gross, it's very important, and net. Gross should be probably about 30 to 50% range. Some companies around the 35, 40, some might get 50, depends on the market and how much can you charge for your work. Net gonna go hand in hand with your overhead. You have to know your overhead because that's your number to track, number 5. You have to calculate absolutely all expenses that you can't control that contributes to your overhead and split it between all your jobs so you do know your net profit margin. Things like your phone bill, things like if you have salary employee in the office, that also goes to your overhead because it's not direct labor cost. It's something that applies to your business. So you have to calculate your overhead. Without knowing your overhead, you're not gonna know number 6. Number 6 to track is what's your break-in point? How much work do you have to sell per month to break even? It surprises me, but a lot of contractors don't know it. I didn't know it back in the day. So you have to calculate, do all the math, and answer to yourself, what's the number? Is it a $300,000 a month? Is it a $400,000 or $500,000? For example, for my business right now in Minneapolis location, it's $500,000, $500,000. So even if I sell $350,000 and each job looks like, it seems like it's profitable, and it is per job, but overall business still can be in red. So I have to really double down on my busy month to make it for those months when I'm in red. But if you don't know your breaking point, you're risking your business and one day you might lose it altogether. 7th number in my book is marketing budget. Do you know how much money do you have to spend on marketing? You have to know it, because if you're constantly not spending on marketing, you're not going to have constant lead flow, and sooner or later you're going to be out of work. So in order for your sales to grow, you have to keep spending money on marketing. Some contractors spend 3% of gross sales, some spend 4 or 5. I recommend staying about 5%. I don't know how aggressive you want to be. If your profit margins are good, if your average sales is good, you might be spending up to 10%. I know some contractors who do spend 10% of gross sales back to marketing. So have to figure out, have to know your number. So those are my 7 numbers. There's way more numbers to track. We teach them in our class. We teach them at our conference. I wanted to invite you to a roofing process conference. We talk about stuff like this. Obviously, it's not 5 or 10 minute talk. You know, you should be taking lessons, 1, 2, 3 hour lessons to understand your numbers. There's more to accounting than just few numbers. You have to know your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, all the accounting stuff. Honestly, as a business owner, you have to understand. But those 7 numbers, if you don't know them, I don't think you know your business. Or if you neglect them, or if you know about them, you just don't know what it is for you. So know your numbers, guys. Let me know what you think in comments below. How much you spend on marketing? What's your average ticket? Drop me some comments. I want to hear from you, and let me know what you think. 90% of you watching our videos without subscription. I don't know what you're waiting for, but you don't want to miss our sick content for roofing industry. Give me one of those. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.